Hello, my crafty friends. I sure hope you're having a beautiful day. My name is Robin Pitts with Sir Chauncey Rocco Creative Designs. Welcome to day 3 of the Merry Craftmas series for 2021. I'm co-hosting this event with my crafty BFF, Michelle Randolph from Shabby Chic Chick. For today's project, I've created this beautiful candy box gift box, also known as a Christmas cracker. Now, there are lots of tutorials on YouTube that show you how to make this. However, I participated in a swap hosted by Carol Hurlock, and she created a very easy to use tutorial, and I'll be sure to include that link in the description box. I love the way this project turned out. It is beautiful, it's shabby chic, and it's very easy to make. The paper collection that I use for this project is by Prima. It's called Christmas Sparkle. This is a beautiful collection. It's available at ASC Craft Supplies. You can visit them on the web or on their Etsy store. Also, please feel free to use my coupon code ROBIN10, that's all in capital letters, to receive a 10% discount upon checkout. This box measures 7 inches square and the depth is 2 inches. I used a beautiful Centura light blue pearl background paper as the mat, and I really love the way it looks against the cream and the printed paper. On the upper right corner, I have this fun floral spray. I have this light blue sparkled tulle, these silver sprigs, and these little poinsettias have foam roses in the center. To make the poinsettias, I use this die. It's by Tim Holtz for Sizzix, and it's called the Layered Tattered Poinsettia. As you can see, this poinsettia has lots of fun sparkle, and I use my favorite glitter, which is by Folk Art. It's called Glitterific, and this is in hologram. You will see me use this on several projects throughout this series. Here we have a little chipboard piece that says 25. On the left, I have this fun chipboard Christmas tree with a little angel, more of this blue tulle, and then I have larger poinsettias that I've cut out here on the bottom. I'm going to adjust my camera so that I can give you a closer look. Here's a closer look at my project, and let me lift this up for you. I have this beautiful octagon frame in the back that's got stitched detail. We have the 4 crackers inside, and I just love this blue glitter tulle. We have these silver sprigs. I purchased these at Michael's. You can also get them at the Dollar Tree. I love this detail on the poinsettia. The great thing about that Tim Holtz poinsettia die is that it also comes with a embossing folder, which gives the flowers this wonderful texture. So we've got 2 poinsettias here, more of this light blue tulle. In the background, I have these light blue glittered stickers on the back. Isn't that pretty? And I have it here and also hidden here. So this is the side of the box. Okay, so let's take this lid off. I have 4 individual cracker boxes, and to make these boxes, I used the Candy Box Punch Board by We Are Memory Keepers. And I've created these fun labels for each of them. So in the background, we have a larger label and this beautiful blue detail. And then I've embellished each of them with this beautiful rhinestone pearl. To make these tags, I use this Spellbinders die. This is called Fancy Label Tags 1. I thought these tags made a beautiful addition to these cracker boxes. So let me give you a closer look at one of these boxes. These boxes measure 7 inches, and as you can see, this has got a fairly good size. Now, I have this filled with candy. However, you can put nail polish, you can put a nail filing set, you could put hand cream, lipstick or chapstick. There are lots of fun things that you can include in each of these. I have them tied on the top and bottom with this light pink satin bow. And let me show you the bottom of the box here. If you don't want to include the cracker, you have this beautiful deer in the background. Isn't that pretty? Now that I've given you an overview of this project, I'm going to grab my craft materials so that we can make this together. I'll be right back. I've gathered the materials to make our candy box gift box. In addition to a scoreboard and a trimmer, you will need a candy box punch board. This is by We Are Memory Keepers. You'll need a piece of cardstock that measures 11 by 11. You're going to score at 2 inches on 4 sides, and this is going to be the lid. The matting layers for the lid are the following. You'll need a centerpiece, and this is double matted. So the first mat is 6 3/4 by 6 3/4, and the decorative paper, the second mat, is 6 1/2 by 6 1/2. And the side panels, you'll need 4 pieces for the first mat that measures 1 3/4 by 6 3/4, and the decorative mat is 1 1/2 by 6 1/2. Also for the lid, you will need a piece of acetate that measures 6 7/8 by 6 7/8. For the bottom of the box, you will need a piece that is slightly smaller than the lid, and this measures 10 7/8 by 10 7/8. And just like the lid, you want to score at 2 inches on all 4 sides. The matting layers for the bottom of the box. For the centerpiece, the first matting layer is 6 5/8 by 6 5/8. The decorative panel is 6 3/8 by 6 3/8. And then you will need 4 pieces for the side panels, which measure for the first mat 1 3/4 by 6 5/8. And the decorative mat is 1 1/2 by 6 3/8. And then finally, you will need 4 pieces to make the individual candy boxes, and these measure 7 by 7. So we are going to work on our bottom box first. This is the bottom of my box, and to save time, I've already scored and burnished, and I've also cut out most of the tabs. But this is a piece that's 10 5/8 by 10 5/8. You've already scored 2 inches on all 4 sides. To make the actual box, we're going to cut up to the first score line. We're going to take off a little sliver on that tab, and then we're going to miter the side. Okay, so you should have a piece that looks like that. You're going to do that on all 4 sides. Now you want to turn your paper over. Before we assemble the box, I want to attach the decorative layers. So I have the centerpiece here. Then I want to glue on these 2 side panels here, right here and right here. I have 2 panels that go on the top and bottom, but I don't want to add those pieces yet until after I've assembled the box. So go ahead and glue on these 3 pieces now. Now that we have our decorative panels glued on the inside, we're going to take these tabs, we're going to fold them in just like so. So we're going to put glue on this tab. And then when you glue them in, you want to make sure that the edges are squared just like so, so it's nice and neat. You want to go ahead and do that on all 4 sides. Now you have your box fully assembled. You can go ahead and glue in these decorative panels to cover up the tabs. Now we have our bottom box complete. Let's set this aside and we're going to work on the lid. To make the lid, we're going to do the same steps as we did for the bottom box. You've scored 2 inches on all 4 sides, folded and burnished, and then we've cut up to the first score line and mitered each of the tabs. Before we assemble our box, we have our matting layers in the center, and then we have the 4 panels that go on the side. Okay, before we glue these down, I want to create a little window in the center, and you can use any kind of die that you want. You can use a square, a circle. I'm going to use this octagon. So what I'm going to do first is glue this panel down, make sure I have it centered, and then I'm going to center my die. I'm going to run this through my Gemini, and then I'll be right back. I've cut out the center of my box, and I've also glued on the outer panels. One thing I did want to point out is that when you are cutting this in your machine, you will need a larger machine such as a Gemini or a Spellbinders Platinum Plus, because you need the width. What I did was I attached the die in the center and I folded in these panels so that it would go through. Because I'm going through 3 fairly thick layers, I did have to go through my die cutting machine a number of times, but if you're using just cardstock and a decorative layer, it'll cut through without any problems. I also cut out a frame for the center just to tie it together, and to do that, I simply took the original die that I used to cut the center and then the next size up, and then I taped them together and then ran them through the die cutting machine just like so. Once you glue your frame down, you can turn this around, and then you're going to attach your acetate right in the center just like so. Okay, and what I've done is added in a 1/4 inch score tape around. You can use glue if you like. I just like the score tape because it's a bit neater. Sometimes with the acetate, the glue has a tendency to squish out. So you can go ahead and glue that right in between the score lines just like so. Now that we have our frame and acetate glued down, grab the bottom of your box. And we're going to place the lid on top. We're going to fold down the edges as well as these tabs here. We're going to flip this over. And we're going to do the same thing on the top. This gives you a much better fit than attaching the tabs like we did on the bottom of the box. Okay, this also gives you a little bit more wiggle room. So now we can just apply glue to these tabs, glue it down, and then do the same thing on the opposite sides. So go ahead and glue your lid together now, and then we'll be back to make the candy boxes. Before we make the candy boxes, I want to make little notches on the side of the box to make it easier to open. So you want to take your top lid, turn it over to the side, and you want to measure half of the box. So this is 7 inches. The halfway mark is right at 3.5. So I'm going to make a little mark at the 3.5 mark. And make sure you do it in pencil so you can erase it. And then you want to measure just about 1/2 inch up on the bottom of the box and make a little mark. And then you're going to take a 1-inch circle punch, and we are going to, right where we made that mark, we're going to line up the punch so that's in the center of the circle, and you want to make sure you have it straight, and then you want to punch. Now, I'm going to have to do this a few times because I've got some extra thick cardstock. Oops, there we go. And so now we have a little latch just like so. We're going to go ahead and do that on the other side. So we have our notches on both sides. Let's open up the box. And now we can start working on the candy boxes. So I've already created 3 boxes. I'm just going to fit them in here. And then we're going to make the last one together. To make the cracker boxes, let's set these pieces aside. And you want to grab a piece of paper that measures 7 by 7 inches. I'm actually going to use this side. Grab your candy box punch board, and we're going to put the paper right up against this purple line here. So we're going to line it up and then punch. And then you want to move it over to this little arrow here, and then we're going to punch again. So we punched, okay, and then we're going to move it over so that the little arrow here fits on top of this arrow. And then we're going to take our bone folder and just draw a score line down like so. Now we're going to punch again. We're going to move it over. We're going to score. We're going to punch. Move it over to the next. Score. And then we're going to punch one more time. And then we're going to score again. So you should have a piece that looks like this. Okay. Then you're going to flip it over like so, and we're going to repeat the same thing just on the opposite side. So you should have a piece that looks like this. I want to create little scallop edges on the top and the bottom. So I'm going to turn my punch board around. Put your piece of paper so that the edge is aligned to this first arrow here. Press, and that gives you a little notch on the top. Then you want to move it over, and then you'll have these areas on top of the little arrows. Push. Okay, move the piece down, and these should just fit into place. And then we'll do the other side. And this is what your piece should look like. Now you want to fold and burnish along the score lines. And then you should have a little tab here. Once you have this piece folded and burnished along the score lines, what we want to do is glue this tab to this tab here. So we're going to put adhesive right on this little ledge here, and then we're going to glue this panel right on top. So go ahead and do that now. Now I have the candy box assembled. I've gathered some candy and ribbon. You can also use this for other items. You could put in stickles or Nouveau drops. You could put in nail polish, a little nail file. There are several things that you could put in these besides candy. So I'm just going to take some pink satin ribbon and just tie a bow at the end. Okay, and you can cut your bow. Okay, and then I'm going to just put the truffles inside, and then I'm going to close up this side with another bow. But as you can see, this will fit in nicely, just like so. Now all I need to do is decorate these little boxes as well as the outside lid. So I'm going to do that offline, and then I'll be back with the final reveal. This is my final project, and I love the way it turned out. This is so beautiful and shabby chic. I've created this beautiful floral spray on the top and the bottom, and then I added in some ephemera from the Christmas Sparkle paper. In the background, you can see the 4 candy boxes, which I've embellished with a layer tag in the pink and this pearl blue, and I finished it off with this beautiful rhinestone pearl in the center. I also have hints of this sparkle blue tulle and glitter branches throughout. This concludes my review of my candy box gift box. Hopefully I've inspired you with new and creative ideas. If you like this video, please take a moment to give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Please be sure to join me tomorrow for more Christmas craft ideas. Up next, please visit Michelle Randolph from Shabby Chic Chick. Thanks so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now. Happy crafting and Merry Christmas.